Hey, Jaylan, how's the transition been into this new defense with Coach White, and I guess what are your impressions of it so far?
It's been great. We being aggressive. Not sitting back. We going after the offense. It's been very easy. The coaches are making it easy for us. But yeah, it's been great.
Colin Taylor.
And you mentioned aggression. What does that look like as a defensive back or a safety? What does aggression from your position look and feel like?
First of all, mindset. Aggression mindset. But then just getting after the quarterback, playing a lot of man. Um, playing a lot of one-on-one matchups. Win on the back end, and then that's it.
Josh Kendall.
Jaylan, I think that a lot of people have concerns that the secondary, because of lack of depth, is going to be a potential problem. Do you guys take that as motivation, and do you hear it from your coaches? Do your coaches use it to try to motivate you?
Nah, the coaches don't use that against us. But as players, you always hear the noise. That's something you take every day when you go to practice so you can get better day in, day out. You can't really worry about it because they're not the ones on the field. We're the ones on the field. So as long as we go out there and put in the work, we'll be good on game day.
Hill McGannon.
Yeah, which spots are you working at? Free safety, strong safety, nickel, a little bit everything. What all they got you doing?
Now I'm at free safety, working the free safety right now.
Are there any differences? What differences are there? Or what's it like playing that position in this defense compared to what you have with Coach Muschamp and T-Rob?
Um, this defense is a lot of free play, a lot of roaming, the freedom to make plays, a lot of just reading the quarterback and reading the offensive line, doing things like that and reacting and making plays.
Dick Cox.
Jaylan, who did you get paired up with as your accountability partner, and what have you learned, something you may have learned about them?
I had Xavier Leggett. He's a guy I've kind of always been close with since he got here, so it hasn't been anything, trying to learn anything new about him, just making sure I stay on him about doing the right things and he's staying on me about doing the right things.
Colin Taylor.
Jalen, how many first team reps are y'all getting, or are you specifically getting in practice? The majority of them?
Yeah, mostly, but everybody's getting the same amount of reps. Right now we still trying to figure out who fits what position and things like that. Like Coach Beamer said, nobody has a set position right now, but when fall comes, the best 11 will be on the field.
And I guess with so few guys in the defensive back room, is this the most reps you've gotten in the spring so far since you've been on a college campus?
Yeah, besides my freshman year, yeah, has been way more reps I ever had, still trying to get used to it, making sure I take care of my body on and off the field, things like that.
What can you learn about yourself when you're having to go through as many reps as you guys are having to go through in the spring because the room is not depleted, but there's just not enough bodies in there right now?
You get a chance to see the things you do good and things you do bad, but work on those bad things, so when game day come, you don't have any weaknesses.
Eric Boynton.
Yeah, Jaylan, how satisfying is this to you that you transferred in, you spent several years not playing, and here you are starting at the halfway through last year, and now you enter another season probable as the probable starter. How satisfying is kind of the end of your journey been for you here at USC?
I'm not satisfied. I feel like I have a ball left to play. But it has been a great feeling. Just knowing that all the hard work that I put in is starting to pay off, and just keep putting in more work because the sky's the limit for me. That's what I feel like.
Obviously, you've worked hard the whole time, no matter what your role is. But how is the feeling? I mean, is it just like night and day going into this year? Like you just mentioned, getting all these reps and knowing you're, considered a very important part of this defense?
Yeah, it's very much night and day. Not used to being one of the first options. Just sitting back and learning from other guys on the field. But now being the one that the younger guys are learning from, it's definitely changed. Making sure I stay on my game, on and off the field, like I was saying.
How is the energy different with this new staff this year? Is it a totally different kind of approach than what Muschamp and his guys brought? Is it similar, or is there, just maybe a different kind of energy in the building with Beamer and his guys?
The energy has been great in the building. I feel like it's a new start for a lot of people. So, that brings a new energy. But, we just coming to play ball, man. I think a lot of guys are just falling in love with the game and the things that the coaches are teaching us and the process and things like that. So it's making it much funner.